This video will change how you see time. Watch till the end to truly understand it, and don't forget to subscribe.
You probably think you understand time. You wear a watch. You feel yourself getting older. You remember yesterday, and you make plans for tomorrow. Time feels obvious.
But that feeling isn't time itself. It's just a perception of the grand, a clever biological illusion.
Most people imagine time as a river, flowing steadily from past to future. But if time is a river, how fast does it flow? 1 second per second? That answer explains nothing. It tells us nothing about reality. The truth is stranger durated, more mechanical jitties, and far less romantic. Time doesn't flow. It doesn't push you forward.
And if you think you understand time, just because you can count seconds, then the confusion starts inside your own head. You think your internal clock is reliable. It isn't.
It's a messy collection of mental shortcuts.
Try counting 60 seconds in your head.
You think you're measuring time,
But you're really running a personal mental program. Some people hear a voice counting in their head.
interrupt that voice, and the system collapses. Others don't hear anything at all. They see images, numbers sliding past.
Those people can keep counting while doing something else. The voice counters can't. That tells us something fundamental.
The experience of time isn't universal.
It varies wildly from person to person. It's not a constant of nature.
It's a biological hallucination.
So physics has to ignore how time feels.
And focus on what time actually does.
Time is just a way of ordering events. Nothing more mysterious than that. Imagine a deck of cards laid out in a row.
Nothing is moving.
Yet the order is perfectly clear.
The cards don't flow. There's no sequence, no natural progression. The table doesn't flow either. Time is the table.
Events are the cards. When we say time passes, we are just reading the order.
Nothing is actually moving.
Here's the mistake everyone makes.
You imagine time as a container, something that holds moments, like a vessel. Even if the universe were empty, you think time would keep ticking.
That idea is wrong.
Time measures change. No change, a no time.
You can't define a second without a process.
Time is a property of what things are doing. Here's another thing people misunderstand about time. They talk about time as if it does something. They say time makes things age. Time makes things decay. But time doesn't do anything at all.
Things change because of physical processes.
Take something simple, like milk. Milk doesn't spoil because time attacks it. It spoils because bacteria are busy doing chemistry.
Time just keeps score of that change.
No change, no ticking.
This is where the ruler analogy helps.
A ruler doesn't make things longer.
It simply measures length.
A clock doesn't make events happen. No, it measures. It measures how much change has occurred.
Now here's where things get interesting. I'm gonna get interesting.
What if the ruler itself could stretch?
Then, different observers would measure differently.
That's not philosophy. That's relativity.
Relativity tells us something uncomfortable, but true. Different observers slice reality differently. What's now for you isn't now for everyone. Motion reshapes how time is measured. Not because time slows,
but because change unfolds differently. Light forces everyone to play by the same rules.
That's why there's no universal clock. Mode.
No master timekeeper behind the universe. Just relationships between events. So why does time feel like it flows? Because your brain records change. You remember the past, not the future. That's entropy doing the work. Things naturally move toward disorder. That's why time has a direction. Not because time pushes, but because physics allows more messy states. The universe doesn't experience time. All events simply exist. You experience them in sequence, an axiodynamic sequence. We talk about time like it's a thing, but it isn't. It's a description. Everything you see, everything you perceive, is part of this intricate design. A way of keeping track of change. And once you see that, everything will change. Believe me. The mystery becomes simpler. It doesn't make things less strange. It just makes them clearer. Time doesn't flow. We move through it.